Welcome to the Pope on Film. I am Bunny Williams, and with me is.
I am the Pope in question. My name is May Lynn. I am the founder of the Church of Ed Wood, which is an actual thing worth a Google. It is episode 444 of this podcast, and very excited for this episode. We're going to be talking about current events. We're going to be talking about uh, a a classic Universal horror movie. I'm going to name drop Mexican Hayride again, which
Really?
is, yeah,
Okay.
that's going to be exciting. I've got a mini shap hidden somewhere in this podcast, which I think you're going to like. And we're going to eventually get around to talking about a movie, which is a piece of shit. So excited to be doing this podcast. It's an exciting time in the Woodian calendar, churchedwood.org. Be sure to
Yes,
check
it
it out. The 10th is a holy day, December 10th. It's a holiday called Wood Wayne. Ed Wood was born on October 10th, and that's a celebration of Ed Wood's life. And then December 10th is Ed Wood's death, and it's basically the same thing but sad. And then the
yes.
next day, which is today, the day that we are recording this, December 11th. So yesterday was Woodwayne, and today is, of course, a holiday worldwide. It's Perez Prado's birthday.
Oh,
He would have, if he was still alive, he would be, let me do the math,
old.
dead.
The old.
Yeah, if he was alive, he would be dead. So it's his birthday. I am legitimately, unironically, a pretty big fan of Perez Prado, the Latin king of mambo. He released an album, one of his most famous albums, a great album of mambo music. But the best part is every song is named after a woman he did it with. And I
Okay.
and I absolutely just love that. Apparently he didn't like naming his songs. My favorite song is Patricia. That's my favorite song. So then he followed that up with what many people consider to be his greatest mambo album, but he never bothered to name the songs. So finally they just went ahead with the album, and the first track was Mambo Number One, and the second track was called Mambo Number Two, and the third track was called Mambo Number Three, and the fourth song was called Mambo Number Four, and the fifth track became a worldwide sensation. That is a 100% true fact. It's Pres Prado's birthday, so listen to some mambo music. We were listening to it this morning. We were getting our mambo on here at home, so we're a big mambo supporting family. Uh, Bunny,
Yes.
it is time once again for one of those different sort of monologues, a potpourri of a monologue. There's going to be a little bit of news. There's going to be a sprinkle of some bits, some little funny things, and some important topics for us to just ad lib and riff through. We do this to start the show every once in a while, but we've never named it. So, our first topic of discussion during this bit is, what do we call this bit? It's so we need to come up with a name. I've got six name ideas.
Okay.
This has already gone through some
I'm kind of cool
folk.
with potpourri right off the bat.
Okay, here are the six that I came up with. A modicum monologue. I was kind of going for some real uh important sounding words. I also have podcast scraps, dabbing the world, the topic tingle. Now the last two, these ones are the money makers, but I personally like the first one. I think you'll like the second one, but here are the two really, I think these are the two main names. Number one, the Betty White Memorial Monologue segment brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Download today.
Don't download it.
Okay.
Or Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff has a nice ring.
But I like the Betty White Memorial Monologue segment brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Download today because number one, rest in peace, Betty White. And also, and I want to memorialize her the best way I can, which is to name a podcast segment after her. And then we've got a sponsor. Boom. Raid Shadow Legends. Download today. I think it's a pretty decent name idea. But also, Jeff is a good one too. If you can think of any, Bunny.
Well, I like Jeff.
Okay.
So when I am naming episode upload, Steve's historic approximations from that perspective is actually problematic.
Yeah.
Because it's historic approximation, then whatever that episode is.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That Betty White thing, I'm just going to have to give
Hold on. Can we do an unboxing? Look
Yeah,
at the
we
size
could.
of this box.
Hold on.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get a.
Hey, I just gave them a full body shot of your sexy ass.
I mean, are you?
Oh, I didn't realize that the name was there. Here, let's turn it around.
There.
We could have just turned it around.
Okay.
Here, hold it so I can.
What?
Look how big this box is, y'all. Look at that shit. There's not. Look, it's not that big. It is not that big. Why?
I don't know.
All right.
You are really just showing off the goods
I am
today.
Here, everybody. Look at my roof. Fucking hell. I'm interrupting.
What are you
I had
doing? You have taken over, Jeff.
it.
I do like that. I tried it out just now, and I liked it. Jeff. There you go. That's the official shirt.
Yeah, this is the shirt.
Monologue segment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just decided.
And it's super soft, by the way.
It is. It is super soft.
Do you guys like my wife? Look at how sexy she is.
Yes.
I've
lost 50 pounds.
Sweet.
Wait a second, though. Are you doing a podcast in your bra?
It's a bralette.
It's a bralette?
Ah. That was nice.
Yes.
What's a bralette?
But look, isn't it? It's soft and it's lacy
and
it's pretty.
It's a bra, but it's also a top if you're a dead musician named Selena.
Okay.
So there you go. Okay, so Jeff is the new name of our.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take over. I've had 2.5 margaritas.
What if we changed it from Steve's historic approximations to historic approximations?
HA? Ha!
Yeah, historic approximations. No, it would be hap.
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 Hap? Hap?
Hap.
What is crazy random hap?
Hap.
Okay.
I think I actually think that's pretty good. We dropped the Steve.
When I saw the picture of Amazon.
Yes, we're still talking about the unboxing. Yes.
No, I'm talking about the fucking size of this box that they just sent me.
Yeah.
My coffee pot.
Yeah.
Stop. Leave it there. Let's see.
Yes, go ahead and take it. I'm gonna just drink this Sprite.
Okay. Can you see that? There's a whole cat. I can fit like 3 cats in there. That is not that big. Okay, sorry. I'm just really irritated. I'm really irritated because I was like, I thought it was smaller than that. I saw the picture. It's a gigantic box.
Yep.
And it's not a need for a gigantic box.
No.
Well, how many cats do you have?
Well, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah, no, maybe they were thinking about that. Damn, Bunny, you and your fucking logic.
Yeah.
All right. I'm done taking over.
Okay. So Jeff, that's the new name of this podcast bit. I'm glad that we nailed that down. Moving on. Bunny,
Yes.
do you know how fucked up your belief system has to be where Alex freaking Jones is uncomfortable with you?
Yes.
I mean, damn. That's a sign.
I really appreciated the Gimp mask. I thought
Yeah.
the Gimp
Yeah,
mask
that was nice.
made it.
That was nice. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. So Alex.
Who really cares that you're a Nazi if you're a Gimp?
Yeah. Sure, I believe Hillary Clinton is a lizard person and Woody from Toy Story eats babies and that they put chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. But what Kanye West is saying, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's how far Kanye West has gone to the right, that even Mr. Insanity is like, that's going too far. That's like akin to Jim Carrey saying, hey, turn it down a little.
Yeah. Exactly.
Why don't you turn it down a bit? You're at a 9. I need you at like a 5. That's like Robin Williams saying, "Wow, now you have a lot of chest hair." So I think that what we're seeing is like another famous breakdown in real time. You know, like Tiger Blood and winning. That seems like a lifetime ago.
Yes. I am highly.
The best part is that Alex Jones keeps trying to give him outs, but he keeps going back in.
Yeah.
I understand. Kanye, I think what you're actually trying to say is that you're a designer, and so you like the outfits that the Nazis wear because they were designed by Hugo Boss. And I know that you're a very famous designer, but that's it. You don't like the Nazis. You are actually wrong, Alex Jones. I love Nazis. And he's like, damn it, take the hint. So this is what I'm thinking, because I was thinking about this. Um, you know, okay, so Magneto has his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Yes.
What I really liked about the first X-Men movie is that Magneto just calls it the Brotherhood of Mutants. Good. You know what? Having evil in your group's title does sort of make you seem a bit evil.
Yeah.
So, so Magneto has his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Lex Luthor has the Legion of Doom. Meanwhile, in the Legion of Doom headquarters, who would be in the League of Horrible Celebrities?
Horrible celebrity.
Yes. I don't know enough about who Mr. Beast is to say anything about him. I don't know. Okay, here comes my 11-year-old to tell us all about YouTuber Mr. Beast.
He's a YouTuber that does these really weird challenges, and she's like, if you do this, then I'll give you $1 billion. And he's a really crappy guy,
Yeah.
and I hate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Max.
Well, I think he should be put on the list.
Okay,
I mean,
possible.
I think,
he can be in the.
He's got a recommendation, so we should review his application.
He could be in the Great Lakes League of Horrible Celebrities.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'd like to think that one of the main members, if not the head, at least one of the main members, Ellen DeGeneres just tripping children.
Yeah.
Just, oh, look, there's a little baby, trip. And then when the baby looks at Ellen and cries, she just yells, don't look at me in the eyes. So there's that. Ellen's in it. Bill Maher is there doing cocaine off of four prostitutes' asses, saying they think I'm a Democrat.
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling. I am a beloved British children's author. Also, kids kill fucking trans people. So she's in the league of horrible celebrities. Dave Chappelle,
Dave
obvious
Chappelle.
reasons. I'm also thinking, uh, unpopular opinion. This is the unpopular opinions episode of the Pope on film, but Johnny Depp's in there in the league of horrible celebrities, and he's just there, like covered in cocaine. I did a bunch of drugs and beat my girlfriend, and then my girlfriend did a bunch of drugs and beat me. But only one of us had scissors for hands. So I'm just saying they're both horrible people.
Yeah, and he's like popping up in the weirdest places. I don't know what
I just
game.
feel like I just feel like they're a lot of a lot of people online and on social media have assumed that since I am the founder and pope of the Church of Ed Wood, and because I've devoted most of my life to spreading Ed Wood's life story, and because I have literally canonized uh, Johnny Depp as a saint, as a
Yes.
literal religious saint, that they can just get on Twitter and like, hey, Reverend, you following the Johnny Depp case? Man, Amber Heard is horrible. It should be killed, right? And it's like, okay, pump your brakes, kid.
Yeah.
What it seems to me is a bunch of people, even like left leaning liberals, were like, oh, yes, we must believe all of the women. I believe women. When women say that they have been attacked, we believe them. Oh, Jack Sparrow's being accused? Fuck that horrible person. Let's go and firebomb her house. And uh, they're both horrible. This is my theory about the whole case. They're
Yeah.
both horrible.
That's
They are both
that's kind of where I'm
equally
at.
horrible.
Uh,
Yeah.
I I I I kind of like Johnny Depp already lost the UK trial suit, very
Yeah.
similar to
Yeah.
this. I mean, the evidence was the same basically.
Yeah.
He lost that one. Amber Heard lost this one. Like right now, we call who call next. I-
Yeah.
Right now, we got a tied game.
Fucking
You both suck.
Hell in a Cell. We're gonna figure this out. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, special referee Mick Foley. Boom.
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
But now at
Head to head.
this point, Johnny Depp could possibly get past. I've been looking
Oh,
at him side eye lately. Uh, but it's really hard to ever forget that somebody shit on a bed.
yeah. Yep.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be a hard one.
But then also
Yeah.
men are always like, oh, I'm looking for a crazy chick. And yeah, guys always want a crazy chick until she shits in your bed.
Yeah.
Way to be sexist. Oh, you said you're into crazy chicks, so I set your house on fire, and now you're angry at me? So that's fun. I it funny. I've got some news, okay?
Okay.
Okay. According to a new study by a doctor at Cedar Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles, and this is 100% true, and the medicinal medication just kicked in. So the rest of the podcast, hold on to your hats. It's going to be exciting. Okay. Yay. According to a new study by a according to a new Oh yeah, 100%. According to a new study by a doctor at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles, irritable bowel syndrome may be triggered by an individual's personal gravity intolerance.
Okay.
Really let that sink in. Because that's amazing. That is an amazing sentence to hear and to have to think about. So you mean to tell me that no, I'm not allergic to peanuts? I'm not allergic to uh kiwi. I'm allergic to gravity. That's gotta suck. You know? It's like, oh, yeah, okay, so I just made hamburger helper for the family for dinner and I ate a bunch and now it's 15 minutes later and I'm shitting out my intestines. That's not the hamburger helper's fault. It's because I'm allergic to science.
Yeah. But now, doesn't that kind of follow that uh, we can build an engine directly out of Bell Sopranos?
Ooh, you've
Because that
discovered.
would, if you built a whole engine out of that, wouldn't you be able to nullify gravity in cold space?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just discovered dark matter.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. We
But
got that going for us. Uh, in other news, Vladimir Zelensky was named Time Magazine's 2022 Person of the Year, narrowly beating out the runner-up Dane Cook. He's 50 and he just married like a 25-year-old. Like a 22-year-old, 23-year-old. It's like a
Yeah.
crazy age difference.
Dane
But
Cook.
anyway, Dane Cook, yeah, not Vladimir Zelensky. But it's so bizarre to me that President Zelensky is like Times Person of the Year. And he's all over the world stage. And
Yeah.
everyone knows him, and everyone, respects him and cares about him, unless you're like a batshit QAnon, whatever. Uh, but I'm still blown away by him because he's a comedian.
Yeah.
This still blows my mind. The fact that Times Person of the Year is basically Ukraine's Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
You know, like back in the day, when Jon
Okay,
Stewart.
okay, but I would feel very, very comfortable if John's president.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like if they made Robin Williams president right after making Man of the House or whatever that Hail to the Chief or whatever that one where he's a comedian who runs for president. I don't remember what the name of that movie was, but it's crazy that he was a comedian that was basically doing political comedy and he had some TV show in Ukraine where he played the president and it was so popular they made him president.
Yeah.
Did you know Herschel Walker was a contestant on The Apprentice and that's why the Republicans went all out to try and get him elected?
Is that why? I mean, I knew he
Yes,
was
he would.
on the Apprentice. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on The Apprentice and that's why Trump pushed for him and that's why everyone tried to get this batshit crazy head trauma specialist
Yes.
elected. That's fascinating to me. Fascinating. Okay, so the World Cup is happening right now. It's happening in Qatar. Huh?
You could probably fit in this box.
Okay, hold on, Bunny. I'm gonna get inside of a box.
Sorry, I thought I was done, but I'm not.
No, you're not done. Here, get the camera. I'm gonna be in this
You're
box.
having her get in the box?
Come on, I can't even. Hi, everybody.
You can't even see it here.
I'm getting you. See? Look at how big that box is. I'm
It is
sorry.
a pretty big box.
It's a big ass box. My wife can fit in this box. It's kind of excessive that they sent my coffee pot in this box.
It's a pretty big box. I do
Sorry.
feel kind of safe
Get
right
off
now.
it.
You know, yeah, I feel
Hi,
safe.
I'm Mrs. Mr.
I'm gonna
Malin.
package you up.
Mrs.
Mrs.
Malin.
Mrs. Malin. Malin.
Mrs. Malin. Yeah, no, you nailed it.
Mrs.
I can
Malin.
fit in
Yeah, Mrs. Malin. It is. It's fun to say though. So the World Cup is happening in Qatar, and uh, what was I was going to tell a story? Okay, so there's a lot of problems with having the World Cup in this small in the Middle East. Like number one, if you come from hundreds of thousands of miles away to see your team at the World Cup and you're wearing anything that has a rainbow on it, they won't let you into the arena to see it because rainbows are synonymous with gay people and gays are like not allowed.
Well, everything about this fucking World Cup is fucked beyond belief.
Yeah, so right
Starting with
before,
flat out slave labor
yeah,
to build the soccer field and shit,
yeah.
all the sporting, all of that. Oh yeah,
Yeah, so right before it was about to start the World Cup, Qatar said, okay, so we're about to start. We're going to be starting the World Cup. Also, no alcohol. Okay, so
10-minute warning.
let's do soccer. So Qatar won't allow any beer or alcohol at all in the World Cup, which is fine because if there's one thing that you don't think of when you think of sports, soccer, it's alcohol.
Yeah.
You don't think of that. Going to a soccer match in Ireland is a lot like going to a library.
Totally.
You know, everyone's there completely sober, going, good show.
Oh, that's chef. Excellent. They're not.
Hey, you are a fan of a rival team, but I will treat you kindly. Top of the hat. So Budweiser was suddenly in between a rock and a hard place because they had shipped so much Budweiser to Qatar, and now the only beer that Budweiser can sell at the World Cup is Bud Zero, a non-alcoholic Budweiser, which makes me sick to even think about
Yeah.
the taste of. I don't know. Yeah. So, when are they finally going to make a non-alcoholic for Loco?
I've been waiting.
Yeah, we're still waiting. Get the scientists working on this. So Budweiser has announced that they will be sending all of the beer that they had already sent to Qatar for the World Cup. They will be sending it for free to the town of whatever team wins the World Cup. And I think that that's nice. Yeah.
Not have alcohol.
Yeah, there's going to be no alcohol at the World Cup. That's crazy. No alcohol and no rainbows. That's weird.
Listen, that's an attack on me personally.
That's an attack on you personally.
I'm fucking mad.
Exactly. So, that's been Jeff this week. That does feel nice. It feels right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Maxwell's right next to me in the box. Uh, I'm doing really good, Bunny.
Yeah.
Really just happy with myself, going into the holidays. I've lost 50 pounds this year, which is just freaking wow.
Yeah.
I'm back in therapy. My
How's that
therapist is really nice. Really good, really good. last week I had my first appointment with my therapist. She's really nice and really friendly, and it was a 2 hour therapy session, and we were just talking, and she seems really nice, and I'm happy that she's my therapist. I started working again,
Yeah.
which is really nice. I don't want to get into the details, but I'm doing deliveries for a
Okay. Cool.
big company, and I'm working a couple of times a week, and I like it. I'm taking confirmation classes so that I can get confirmed into the
Oh.
Episcopalian religion. I really like Episcopalians. They're the smart ones that have logic and believe in science and dinosaurs and actually don't hate gay people. So I'm really liking it. I'm taking classes. I have a book and a notebook down here. And did you know that they made blow pops without the sticks?
No.
They're wonderful. They're mini blow pops, and they're just the middle, the lollipop and the gum in the middle, but just without the stick. It's freaking wonderful. That is a huge coffee machine.
Excuse me, this is about the
It's
same
a
size.
complicated coffee machine.
This is about the same size as the one we have. It's
Yeah.
not skinnier.
It's a ninja. Is it going to make any sounds when we make the coffee? Because if it does, it's a liar. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it's a nice looking coffee machine. She's excited about the coffee machine.
Yeah.
So we record this on Zoom, so we are going to be taking a short break. And when we come back, so that we can restart Zoom. And when we come back, it's going to be time for historic approximations or crap. That is fun. We can all say it together. Oh, that was great.
Historical approximations.
Yes. H and then AP for approximations.
Yeah, you thought it was advanced placement. Liar.
Yeah. This is a really good one. We're going to be talking about one of a kick-ass female Hollywood pioneer and how she got screwed. It is a fascinating chap, and I can't wait to get to it. And then, of course, this week's movie is unfortunately How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Amber, my daughter, loves the Grinch so much that there is a possibility that while we are talking about this movie, someone might get upset or give me the look that she just gave me.
Well, it's okay because he's usually right about things, but like nobody's.
Exactly. Nobody's nerfing.
It's true.
But she is tragically, tragically wrong.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree. So we're going to take a break. Stay tuned. We will be right back with some historic approximations. It's not the 100% story, but it's about 92 to 94% correct. That's why it's an approximation. So we will be right back with more of the Pope on Film after this. You're watching Biography on A&E. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Skitty pop a doo wow and break. Certified frustration-free packaging. Not frustrating. That's good. Guess I just pull here and damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Okay. Carrie is great.
And we're back with more of the Pope on film.
Hey,
Yes?
if you're like me, you're no doubt a big fan of this podcast, The Pope on Film. I mean, who isn't right now? Last week in our Twitch stream of this podcast, and this is true, we had 8.3 thousand people watching at one
Yes.
point. It was incredible. That was how many people were watching the Twitch stream of our last episode. I mean, sure, the screen said there were only 4, but
Yeah.
that's the liberal media putting a spin on things. You know, those liberals are always so woke. But if you're a real fan of this podcast who's been with us since the beginning, yes, you can have those, Eleanor. Thank you for interrupting the podcast to ask me if you can have a blow pop without a stick. If you're a real fan who's been with us since the beginning, then you'd know the 2 big major facts about the both of us. America's hottest podcasting couple, Bunny and May Lynn. First and foremost, Bunny, is the fact that when you are not doing the podcast, you are a celebrated leader in the field of science known as rabbit psychology. Now, tell us about this, Bunny.
Rabbits think a lot deeper and care a lot more than many people give them credit for. Most people just view them as carrot chomping vermin. But no, they are very sensitive creatures. They are very intelligent creatures. They tend to lean toward the philosophies of Schopenhauer, and this is very important to recognize. But they do need a lot of help trying to deal with their intelligence and their emotions due to their addiction to hopping. You know,
Yes.
it's this is what is keeping them out of the big conferences. This is what is preventing a rabbit from ever actually winning a Nobel Prize.
True.
Because nobody wants you hopping around all over the fucking stage at a serious ceremony like this. So it takes a lot to try to counsel. They seem to react very well to ink blot tests.
Ink blot tests.
Yes.
Interesting.
Block or ink blob?
That is very telling in rabbit therapy. The amount of times they see butterflies. That's what you're really looking for. What are they seeing?
Honey, thank you. That chicken sandwich is wonderful. I don't know what that yellow sauce is, but it's really yummy.
All I know is that when I ordered it, I wanted it grilled instead of breaded, but I couldn't eat it because I ate the broccoli first.
Gotcha. Bunny, my 6-year-old came up with the rabbit psychology.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, I didn't write that one. Eleanor wrote that one.
Okay.
And not me. So just wanted to be clear. But you did a really good job with rabbit psychology.
I think that's really telling about our lives.
What?
Rabbit psychology, animals and psychology.
Yeah, that's a good point. And the second fact, which is about me, is that I'm a lover of history. I love it, but I'm also a storyteller. So this is the part of the podcast where I get a story from the history books, maybe one that people don't know that well, and reword it via my own unique storytelling panache. And that's what this is, another educationally uneducational installment of Historic Approximations, or as we like to call it, HAP! Oh, that is wonderful. That is wonderful.
Okay, so is this now an official thing?
Yes.
Okay.
HAP.
I mean, because you can't really call it MAP.
Yeah, and we've done that. Yeah, Millhap. That sounds too much like Millhouse. I liked Shap because Shap sounded like Hulk, and we all know that Hulk is cool. Eleanor wrote that one too. She said she made me write down Shap sounds like Hulk, and we all know Hulk is cool. So that was another Eleanor. She helped me with the intro. Eleanor was a big help in writing the podcast this week. Anywho, today on the old Shappity Happity Hap Hap. I don't know how I feel about that. Right? This is the segment of the podcast where it feels like a room without a roof. This week, we'll be talking about an awesome, badass Hollywood pioneer, a woman named Millicent Patrick. And it is a travesty, nay, a crime, that her name is not a household name. And so my hope is that by the end of this hap, everyone listening will know her name. In fact, let's start now. Buddy, pop quiz. What's her name?
Okay, I'm really stoned during the show. I forgot already.
Are we what?
He's really stoned. He doesn't know the name. That's so funny because I thought that might be. Her name is Millicent Patrick.
Millicent Patrick.
Yeah.
She is a badass motherfucker.
Patrick.
Yeah. Millicent Patrick. She is amazing. She's a pioneer, a badass, a hashtag girl boss who should have achieved worldwide fame, but she was needlessly screwed over by the man. And I feel very strongly about this hap. Millicent Patrick is amazing. And what they did to her, what he did to her is so effed up. So let's get to it. Millicent Patrick was born in El Paso, Texas. You know who pronounces it Texas? The Mexicans.
Okay.
What was that from? That was from Home Movies. Home Movies. Mexico. Why are you? It was Coach McGurk. Why are you pronouncing it like that? It's Mexico. It's not Mexico. Who pronounces it Mexico? The Mexicans. So, El Paso, Texas is where Millicent Patrick was born in 1915. And fun fact about El Paso is actually Spanish for the Paso. You probably didn't know that. I am full of fun facts like that. Yeah, the Paso. That's what El Paso is Spanish for.
Yes.
I'm full of fun facts. She was born into intense wealth. In fact, her father was the head of construction at freaking Hearst Castle. William Randolph Hearst's actual big ass castle. Millicent Patrick's dad was the head of construction at Hearst Castle.
Okay, so are we sure that she is not the man?
Oh no, we have not gotten there yet.
Okay.
Trust me. She was born into wealth.
Because so far she sounded like the man here.
Oh man, you want to talk about being the man? Millicent Patrick isn't her real name. She was born Mildred Elizabeth Fulvia de Rossi, which is definitely a triple word score.
Yes.
What a name. Okay, Mildred Elizabeth Fulvia de Rossi. Fancy people with money, they can afford 5 names, 6 names, 8 names.
Yeah.
Us poor people, we usually just get 3.
Yeah.
And I think that that's not fair. I am going to start adding, I'm going to be fancy. I'm going to add names to myself. That's one of the best parts about being trans is that you just get to just pick a new name, and it's the best, and I absolutely love it. So my name, from now on, my full name is Maylin Millicent, because of Millicent Patrick. Maylin Millicent Midsommar, Nostromo, Boom Boom, Raid Shadow Legends,
Ham bone.
the third.
You need a ham bone in there somewhere.
No, yeah. Malin, Millicent, Midsommar, Nostromo, Boom Boom, Raid Shadow Legends, the third. That is my full name now. Not even the word ham bone, the actual act of ham boning.
Ham boning.
In there. Bunny, do you want some names? Now's the chance.
No, because I'm easily confused.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. Okay. Well, the option is there. If you want to add some extra names, it is okay. So Mildred Elizabeth Midsommar Raid Shadow Legends Portia de Rossi. She adopted the name Millicent because Mildred so Millicent Patrick took the name Millicent because her dad was the head of construction at Hearst Castle. And so her mom was super close friends with William Randolph Hearst's wife, Millicent. So she took her mom's friend's name. Anywho, Millicent Patrick, she dropped out of college in 1939 and joined a prestigious art institute in LA that is so prestigious that I can't pronounce it. It's I Chouinard, I think. Chowinard. It sounds like Charizard, which is, I'm pretty sure, a Pokemon.
Charizard.
Oh, okay. But I'm assuming that, like, this is a fancy art academy, so it's probably
in
Chomab or something like that, you know?
Neard or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. It's probably, oh, you're pronouncing it Chowinard. It's actually LA. Yeah. Anyway, she stayed at this prestigious art school for 3 years. And here's where it gets interesting. So she's in art school for 3 years, and it's in LA near, I believe, Burbank. And so in the 30s, she's in this art school. And apparently in the 30s, Walt Disney would pop in all of the time.
Okay.
He would get like his noob employees, the like wet behind the ears ones, the green ones, you know, the like the real newbies. And it's like, oh, you modern kids these days. That's not how Walt Disney sounds, but I'm assuming that, you know, he was a big man during that period in time when everyone had a cigar.
Yeah.
You know, I feel that like everyone in the 1930s and 40s is like, look at this doll. So that's my so Walt Disney would take his noob artists and on Friday nights take them to this art institute for classes. Here, go learn. I'm going to go price how much it would cost to freeze my head. So Walt drops into the art institute from time to time, and he sees Millicent, and he's all, "Hey there, doll face, you're pretty good at drawing for a dame." Because it's 1930s. Why don't you 23 skidoo your keister into my studio, and I'll give you a job? That's how every man talked in the 1930s and 40s. It was crazy because Hitler rose to power and he's all like, "Hey, I don't like the Jews." You know, everyone in the 1930s and 40s just talked like that. Every man in the 1930s and 40s talked like that. Yeah, that's just a science. That's a fact. It's science. They were all smoking cigars, stogies. Where's my stogies? So it's 1939. And Walt just picks her up at the Art Institute and gives her a job. So she's all, "Oh, gee whiz, boy, howdy, I'm going to be an animator. Yowza, yowza, yowza," because it's the 30s. But no, women hardly ever did animation work. That's for the men. So Walt set up an all-female ink and paint department at his studio. And it's like, hey, chicks can't draw, but I'll let them color things. That's good enough for the little ladies. So she's just coloring things, and that's lame.
Yeah.
But she works hard and she works fast, and some third thing, and she's got talent and moxie, kid. It's very important in the 1930s.
Yes.
Hey, kid, you got moxie, you got spunk, you got some third thing. Ha cha cha. So, uh, I completely lost my place. Okay, there you go. And so she works hard and fast. And so a year later, she gets called up and becomes one of the first female animators at Walt Disney Studios. Millicent Patrick. This is already a crazy story, and we haven't gotten to the part yet.
Okay.
We're not even close. So she's an animator now, and her presence can still be seen. She worked on a ton of the animals in Dumbo, and she created Chernabog. That's the demon from the Kick-Ass Night at Bald Mountain part of Fantasia.
Okay.
Yeah, she created that. We haven't even gotten to the good part yet of her story. Millicent Patrick. Remember her name. Bunny, what was the name?
Millicent Patrick, born with the silver spoon in her mouth.
Yes, and now she's an animator with the big boys that are all smoking cigars. Hey, let's draw this duck without pants.
So far, her life has been a walk in the park.
Oh, just hold on. Just hold on.
Okay.
Because she will get screwed big time. Just wait. It's insane what happens.
I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Then it's 1941, and there's an animator strike. So she leaves Disney. Gee, what to do? Well, here's the thing. Our girl Millicent, she was a bit of a looker. She was very attractive. She was pretty. She was so pretty. She was hoity. Because again, it's the 1930s. And hey, you got nice gams, doll face. I said games. That's weird. So she starts modeling. She starts doing modeling gigs and working trade shows and some third thing and etc. And she's a beauty, car shows, and she goes from trailblazing female Disney animator to successful model. And she parlays that into small acting bits in movies. She goes to this trade show and she sees an agent, and the agent, I want to represent you, doll. Ha cha cha. So now she has an agent. She's getting these small acting bits, small bits, tiny lines, a lot of work as an extra. She was in 1952's Abbott and Costello Meet Captain Kidd as a bar wench. A lot of uncredited stuff. But while she would be on the set, because a lot of acting is just downtime, so you're just sort of sitting there. So to pass the time, Millicent would sketch her fellow actors. There's a great promotional picture that I found of Millicent, and it's from the 1955 film Man Without a Star, where you just see her drawing a beautiful picture of her co-star, Kirk Douglas. And it's a real awesome picture of just Kirk Douglas and Millicent Patrick. That's how important she is. And no one knows her name, and we're almost there. We're almost at that part. But Millicent Patrick, yet again, making a name for herself. First, she was a trailblazing Disney animator. Then she was a successful model. Now she's the small-time actress who can draw like the best of them. Her sketches catch the eye of people backstage. And so she transitions from in front of the camera to behind the scenes shiz. And now, yada, 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 she's working at Universal Studios, baby. I meant for that to sound like Justin McElroy. Travis? Travis McElroy from My Brother and Me. But anyway, our girl Millicent Patrick is now working at Universal Studios. She's designing special effects. She's designing makeup. She's working directly under the legendary head of Universal's makeup department, Mr. Bud Westmore, the man credited with working on so many of Hollywood's biggest movies. Harvey, The Incredible Shrinking Man, Orson Welles' Touch of Evil, freaking To Kill a Mockingbird, and of course, his most famous film, the 1948 comedy Mexican Hayride,
All right.
starring Abbott and Costello. It's not that racist, which I thought it was going to be a lot more racist. So, hey,
yeah,
good for you, Abbott and Costello. I'm impressed with that. We're moving. We are moving around. I'm getting motion sickness from all the moving you're doing, Bunny. I don't like change. Okay, so Mexican Hayride. Bud Westmore ruled over the Universal makeup department with an iron fist. Meanwhile, our girl, Millicent Patrick, she's doing freaking great in his department. She does all the pirate makeup for the 1952 film Against All Flags. She created the aliens from It Came from Outer Space.
yeah.
A woman came up with the designs, came up with the latex masks, came up with the makeup. That was Millicent Patrick. She's a legit legend. She was also in charge of the changing effects in Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which I've never seen.
I'm sure I've seen it 100. Well, I know for a fact I've seen it 100 times when I was a kid.
Yeah,
but
I saw.
Like I loved Abbott and Costello when I was a kid, and like I really can't stand them now.
Yeah,
I could do Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein because it's fucking Frankenstein.
Yeah, I can see Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein a million times a day.
Yeah,
no problem. But yeah, they made so many movies. Mexican Haystack was freaking something and a half. But that's not all. In 1954, Millicent Patrick, all by herself, Millicent, a woman, designed the Gill Man. The Gill Man.
nice.
From the classic Universal monster movie, The Creature from the Black friggin' Lagoon. A woman single-handedly created one of Universal's most iconic monsters of all time. Isn't that incredible, Bunny?
It is incredible. Yes, it is very impressive.
Now you might be wondering, if that is the case, then why isn't Millicent Patrick a household name? What happened to her? Yeah, about that.
Okay.
Okay, so here is the downfall of Millicent Patrick, our hero. Universal is looking at the dailies for The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and they are seeing dollar signs. They're like, in the 40s, we had all of these monster hits, but then they just sort of dissipated and we stopped doing them. But now The Creature from the Black Lagoon, this is going to be our next big thing. This is going to be a brand new Frankenstein. People are going to be loving this monster. We can make a second one, a third one, a fourth one. Maybe get a young Clint Eastwood in one of these. I don't know. But we really got to capitalize on this. This monster is going to be the next big thing. And this is what Universal does to garner up publicity for the upcoming movie. They set up a nationwide tour going all across America. They send the suit the Gilman costume, and right beside it, Millicent Patrick, and they advertise it. Come and meet the beauty who created the beast. That is a quote. That is what they called her. They said, come meet Millicent Patrick, the beauty who created a beast, with fucking quotes. Meanwhile, back in LA, the makeup head, Bud Westmore, who ruled with an iron fist over the entire Universal makeup department, he starts getting steamed, envious, jelly, because hey, I'm the head of makeup. I am the head of makeup. And oh, here's this woman, and she's touring all across America, and she's getting called the beauty who created a beast. She works for me.
Yeah.
I should be getting the credit for this. And besides, she's just a dame, a ha cha cha. Because again, like it's back in the day when everything was black and white. So, like, he's the boss. He's the head of makeup. And this woman, this chick, this dame, this broad, she gets all the credit. I should get all the credit. Huh. And so he makes the call. Beep, bop, boop. No, it would be the yeah, hey, the Millicent tour, the beauty who created the beast, fuck all that. As of right now, the tour is changed. You're calling it the beauty who lives with the beast, because I do not want her to take all the credit for this movie. That's some petty shit. That is so petty that this story is free falling. I can hear the woodpecker outside. Did you hear the woodpecker outside, honey? Was that the coffee?
Yes.
Oh, because we do sometimes have a woodpecker outside.
We have like 2.
Yeah, but that was the coffee machine making that noise. I don't like the new coffee machine. I don't like change.
Actually, yeah, it's done now, but it was bubbling.
Yeah,
it's going through a clean before we can use it, so we're gonna have some.
Okay. Are you taking Eleanor?
Is this still Chap?
Hap. It's Hap.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're not doing Jeff anymore.
Hap.
Oh, nice. Nice. I didn't notice that. Yeah, you covered up the S. Yeah. Yeah, you are doing the best at this. So, okay. So, what's his name? What's the guy's name? Bud Westmore literally changes the name of the tour to not give Millicent Patrick credit for creating the Gill Man. And then once she comes back, returns from her tour, he fires her.
Is that bitch?
Yeah,
really?
and to this day, when you see the creature from the Black Lagoon, it'll say makeup and special effects Bud Westmore, and does not give her credit, despite the fact that, again, she herself, Millicent, designed the freaking Gilman. She did that. They fired her, and now Bud Westmore gets all the credit for it. Not only that, but Bud Westmore kept all of her work and used it even after firing her without giving her credit. Okay, so you know this island Earth?
Yeah.
So the Metaluna mutant, that big ugly thing, get punched. Yeah. Oh, there goes the piano lessons. That was actually, the Metaluna mutant was based on an unused design that Millicent did years earlier, for It Came from Outer Space. They kept her design, used it, and didn't give her any credit. Again, Bud Westmore is created and was seen for decades as the person who created the creature from the Black Lagoon and the person who created the Metaluna mutant 10-minute warning, and It Came from Outer Space. How fucked up is that, Bunny?
That is fucked up.
That is fucked up. Millicent was blacklisted from working in behind the scenes at any other studio. She was absolutely not allowed. She was blacklisted from makeup, from special effects. She went back to acting, and she died in the 90s with little fanfare. Now, famous monsters of Filmland magazine and Forrest J. Ackerman himself did write an article in the 70s crediting her with creating the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
And then there was some other magazine, I think in the 90s, that gave her credit. But by and large, Bud Westmore, the man who created a monster, he got credit for it for years. And here's Bud Westmore, and here's the outfit because I created it because I have a penis.
Oh, fuck him.
But to Forrest J. Ackerman's credit, yeah, he came out and wrote an article, and it's like, yeah, actually, here's the story. Here's an 8-page article about Millicent Patrick in the 70s. So good for Fuzzy Forrest Ackerman. And some other magazine wrote an article about her. But by and large, she only got credit for creating the creature from the Black Lagoon recently after an author named Mallory O'Meara wrote a book in 2019. So very recently, called The Lady from the Black Lagoon, that told the life story of Millicent Patrick. But yeah, she was actually the first woman ever to work in makeup and special effects. She is a historic trailblazer who created some of the most iconic horror movies in the later year of the Universal Classic Monster run. She should be a worldwide, well-known legend, but she got screwed out of it because some dude wanted all the credit. Isn't that fucked up?
That is fucked up.
Millicent Patrick. She is a Hollywood badass, and I freaking love her. And I think it's wonderful that the Gill Man was created not by like a bunch of dudes smoking cigars in a suit, but a woman. A woman created that, and that is awesome. And she got screwed over like crazy. They used a bunch of her other designs in other Universal movies and just gave all the credit to Bud Westmore. Freaking don't trust someone named Bud. That's why I've never seen Air Bud.
But Dad's friends with the hearses. She couldn't have thrown a little power around.
I don't think William Randolph Hearst was as powerful as he was in the 30s in 1956,
Yeah.
1954. He wasn't as powerful then. The Newsies got to him. In my dreams on my own, I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. That's from the Disney musical Newsies. Okay. I did not know I had that entire song on deck, but I do. Fun fact. So a few episodes ago, we were talking about Dr. Salisbury, the inventor of the Salisbury steak. And I said, oh, this is set during the Civil War. I will sing the song Two Brothers from the opening of the Disney attraction Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. At the time, I was just going to sing that song. So I messaged my old friend Tom. We've been talking lately, and I said, hey, Tom, I'm going to sing this song on the podcast, and I will think of you. Send. And then I did the podcast, and apparently I have just a rant on deck.
Okay.
That is just chomping at the bit to get out. And I didn't write any of the stuff down that I mentioned during that chat. The things that I said about Tom, completely true, but I didn't mean to say any of them. They just spilled out of me. And it was very cathartic to get that out of my chest, of my growing female chest.
Yes.
So I had you, Bunny, cut out that one part, and I posted it on my YouTube page, my adult one, and I was really proud of it. And then about a week later, Tom messaged me back. Oh man, two brothers? Man, good times. That was so long ago. When are you recording the podcast? When can I hear it? And I went, actually, we already recorded it. I did talk a little bit about you, and it's okay if you don't want to listen to it. But also, fucking, I'm transitioning in my 40s. Here you go. Here's the video.
Yeah.
So I sent the entire video to Tom, and wow, gee, for some reason he hasn't talked to me for like a month. Huh. I wonder why.
In a month now?
It's he hasn't messaged me back since I sent him the video.
Oh, okay.
And I believe I posted that about 3 weeks ago. So who knows why he hasn't gotten back to me? That's a mystery. Mystery. Anyway, that is it for
It must be something I said.
Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. Anyway, that is it for historical approximations this week, or as I like to call it, this is fun. It's something we can all do as a family. Historic approximations, bringing families together.
Making them.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Making them happy. Be sure and join us next week, literally next week, because usually we do every other week, but I still say next week. But this time I actually mean next week because we're doing this podcast next Sunday as well, and then taking Christmas and New Year's Day off.
Yes.
We talked about this earlier in the week. Okay, I was a bit high, and I thought you might be too, but we remember. Good.
Well, if you want to be talking about high, Bigfoot and Wild Boy, fuck you very much.
Oh man, none of that is copyrighted because no one wants it. So, man, no one remembers that. I show that to my kids, and I'm like, "You're going to think this is a joke. This is a real thing."
Yeah,
and they assumed that it was some sort of like modern day bad video on YouTube, and it's like, no. This is from the 70s. This aired on TV. I believe it had 2 seasons.
And it's been coming up a little bit lately. I'm not sure why. So, like, I was not terribly surprised when you mentioned it. And it's one of those things that just causes kind of a tickle in the back of my brain. You know? So I had to look it up. And as soon as I looked it up, it said Sid and Marty Krofft, and I was like,
yeah.
Sid and Marty Krofft? No fucking way. So now I had to dive a little deeper, and I found one of the episodes on YouTube, and I started playing it, and sure enough, Sid and Marty Krofft.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now I'm also really, really, really high.
That's a fucked up show to watch when you're super high.
And then Far Out Space Nuts comes up next.
Yeah.
So now I'm watching Far Out Space Nuts.
Wow, I took you to an exciting place.
Yes.
That's fun. So join us next week for more educationally uneducational fun with Historic Approximations. And cut on that. Okay, we're going to take a little halftime. There's going to be some videos and some shorts and some fun, and cut on that. Did I do that part? I think I did. I don't know. The pill kicked in. I've been taking Bliss pills.
Oh.
They are half THC and half CBD, and they make everything wonderful. So we're taking a short break. We're going to have some music and some videos and some fun. And when we come back, we will be discussing Jim Carrey's live action year 2000 migraine of a film, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So we will be right back with more of the Pope on Film after.
you now.
Okay, so I'm going to show you one of my favorite books in the world, and it's right here, and it's called Heaven is Real and Fun by Kim Robinson. And then here's the subtitle. It actually says, "You don't float around wearing diapers and eating grapes." I love this book so much. This woman believes that, like literally believes that when she prays, Jesus takes her from earth and lets her play in heaven. Here's what the back says. "Since 1988, the Holy Spirit has been taking me to heaven. Jesus would show me various fun places and allowed me to do fun things. I asked, why was he showing me these places? Daddy/God said, because people think all they do here is float around wearing diapers, eating grapes, or doing nothing but bowing before me." Okay, so this is my favorite passage of the book, and it's called Play Gel Balls. Okay. I'm not sure if this... hold on. I'm going to do this in two parts. Okay, you ready for this? "This morning while worshiping, I was caught up in the Spirit and stepped over into heaven when I heard Jesus say, 'Come play gel balls.' It's like a water balloon, but the ball is full of giggly joy gel. You can squeeze it into yourself. When you put one in yourself, you laugh intensely. In the spirit realm, you can place things into yourself as if you were transparent. When you try to hit the other person with these joy gel balls, they try to get hit. So it will go into them, and they will intensely laugh. They can also catch it and squeeze it into themselves, intensely laugh and keep playing. Heaven is so fun and filled with intense laughter. This reminded me of Job 8:21 that says, 'He will yet fill your mouth with laughter and your lips with joyful shouting.'" Hello there. Yeah, so anyway, I love this book. I love this book so much, and a lot of people have asked me, why do you love this book so much? And the thing that I love about this book is that this isn't a joke. This person actually believes, chapter 2, Daddy, God, and the Holy Spirit in heaven. This woman actually believes that she can leave Earth and travel to heaven, where she has a vaguely a high sexual tension relationship with Jesus. There's a passage in here where she's slow dancing with Jesus. Fragrance of Jesus. Like, this woman wants to bang our Lord and Savior. And I just love this. Jesus is in me. Jesus is in me. This woman wants to bang Christ. And I just love this book because if you're on the street and you're pushing a shopping cart and the police ask you, "What's up with you?" and you say, "Oh, I've been talking to Jesus. He takes me to roller coasters in heaven. You don't just float around on a cloud wearing diapers and eating grapes." Then you'd be put in an institution or a prison and you'd rot in there for the rest of your life. But if you're an old white woman and you say those things, then congratulations, you're a prophet. It's insane. This woman is clearly insane.
Diamond light, lover boy. We live the space with minimum waste and maximum joy. City lights, business night. When you require streetcar desire for higher heights. No place for beginners or sensitive hearts. Sentiment is left to chance. No place to be ending, but somewhere to start. No need to ask you to smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Coast to coaster, late to Chicago, Western Maine. Across the north and south to Key Largo, love of say. Mike Merrill is gonna make some turkey enchiladas and think of me while enjoying that. I hope you make yummy sounds. Face to face, each glass a case. We shared a box and double cross, yet need the chase. A license to love, insurance to own. Melts your memories and changes them into gold. His eyes are like angels, but his heart is cold. No need to ask, he's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Turkey, turkey enchilada, turkey enchilada, turkey enchilada, turkey enchilada, turkey enchilada with the verde sauce. Oh, turkey enchilada, turkey enchilada, turkey enchilada, turkey enchilada with green sauce. Oh, oh, oh. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, a smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Street lights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Working hard to get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill. Paying anything to roll the dice just one more time. Some will win, some will lose. Some were born to sing my blues. Oh, the movie never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting, walk up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Street lights, people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Hold on to the feeling, yeah. Street lights, people. Don't stop believing. Whoa. Street lights, people. Stop believing. Hold on to the feeling, yeah. Street lights, people.
I live my life. Yeah.
You're back, filthy capitalist pickdogs. Viva la revolution! Viva la revolution! Viva la revolution!
Universal Pictures and Imagine Entertainment invite you to experience the magic of the classic story as it comes to life like you've never seen before. In a place where the Christmas spirit is everywhere.
Have the best Christmas ever!
Well, almost everywhere.
Counting down the Christmas clock. Oh, young people.
Blast this Christmas music. It's joyful and triumphant.
Jim Carrey is
the Grinch. I must stop this Christmas from coming.
From Universal Pictures.
What would I wear? Ho-ho!
And Imagine Entertainment.
Forgot about the reindeer. Action!
Brilliant! Mr. Grinch, I myself am having some Yuletide doubts.
Don't care.
Maybe if you can reunite with the Who's and be a part of Christmas.
Maybe if you can reunite with the Who's and be a part of Christmas.
Grow up!
If you think you know the whole story.
What if it's all just a misunderstanding?
This could change my entire outlook on life.
Really?
No.
You don't know Grinch.
This is nuts! I'm going to throw up, and then I'm going to die!
Jim Carrey. In a Ron Howard film. The Grinch.
Uh-oh, somebody's fabulous!
And we're back with more of the Pope on Film.
It's time, buddy!
It's time. It's time.
Yes, Bunny, my friend, it is time once again for all of us here at the Pope on Film podcast to boot scoot boogie our way into the second half of the Big Chew. And it is said second half wherein we finally and eventually get around to discussing our all-new high-octane 12-horsepower anti-lock brakes, pro-lock brakes, as well as anti-lock brakes, because everything has to be both sides now.
Yeah.
That's one thing that pisses me off about the media, is that the right always says, oh, the media is such a liberal bias, when in fact what the media is doing is, okay, let's get both sides of this argument. Your side of the argument is, I don't want to die. Okay, what's your side of the argument? Those people should die? These are two valid points. And we must hear them both out. That pisses me off. You know, not everything has to be both sides, but we do have anti-lock brakes and pro-lock brakes. What was I doing?
Yes.
The intro. Movie of the week! And this week, two holiday movies go head to head. It is Mark Polonia versus Jim Carrey as we discuss the 2000 live-action film, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Bunny, did you remember our stipulation for this week's movie?
Stipulation?
Yes, there was. There was a stipulation. We were watching The Grinch for a specific reason. Ha! I knew you would forget, and I purposefully didn't remind you. But we're watching this movie for a specific reason, and the reason is, here on this side, you've got Mark Polonia's film, Hell on the Shelf from 2021.
Yes.
That looks like it was made in 2 days with a budget of $10. And then over here, you've got the $125-150 million massive big budget monstrosity, Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The question was, which is worse? An hour and a half of three adults talking to static, or Jim Carrey giving you a migraine via the magic of cinema.
Yeah.
So see, let's really like boil it down. Not which is worse, but more specifically, Bunny, if you had to watch one of these movies again, if you had to watch one of these movies, okay, if you, out of the two last movies that we did, the 2001
Hell on a Shelf.
film, Hell on a Shelf, or the big budget,
Hell on a Shelf.
massive hit. Okay,
Hell on a
why?
Shelf.
Why? I'm interested in this. Why would you?
Because I didn't hate that movie nearly as much as you did to begin with, and I can see myself rewatching that movie at some point.
Okay.
I found some things to be interested in with that movie, whereas this was, please make it stop.
Yeah, I think it's a good comparison, these two movies, because in one movie, nothing's happening. It's literally just three guys talking to static for a good portion of the film.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, you've got this movie where way too much is happening. Like the yin and yang of holiday hideousness. You know? This is a Fushigi ball that I have here.
I can also compare this movie to Rob Zombie's Halloween. Okay, because like
here's a bunch of backstory we didn't need.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to know it, and I think it kind of ruined the movie. I don't think I need to know that the Grinch is the Grinch because the Who's bullied him.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that we've got Jim Carrey's live action The Grinch, and then we've got
sucked in this movie.
And then we've got have you seen the animated movie The Grinch, Bunny?
The original, not this new one.
Oh, okay. You haven't seen the new one. Okay. The new one is a lot less bad than this. I don't want to say it's a good movie, but it's a lot less bad than this. But I find it interesting because both films go a different way. So the live action Grinch specifically shows that, like, okay, here's why the Grinch hates Christmas. The Who's are fucking assholes. All of the Who's are fucking pieces of shit. They all suck. And they were bullying him.
First off, we have a society that has obviously, and I'm not sure how exactly, but obviously has been practicing bestiality with rodents for many a generation.
Yeah.
So that we have humans and human rodent hybrids living together, you know. And I mean, I don't mean to be judgmental here, but if one of you eventually has a green fuzzy baby who's not as cute as the rest of them, go fucking figure, okay?
Peter Pettigrew.
Yeah.
All of the Who's in Whoville look like in that one Harry Potter where they finally turn the rat back into a human.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, I hated when Cindy Lou Who showed up because it was basically like that one Twilight Zone where here's the one beautiful person, but she's hideous because then the doctors turn around.
Yeah.
And you see that everyone's ugly.
Yeah.
So it's like, why is there one normal human, one green human, and a bunch of hideous fucking rat monsters?
Well, but there are other normal humans in there as well.
Yeah.
They weren't all rat creatures.
It was nice to see black.
But, you know, shit like that skips a generation. You know?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I hated last week's movie Hell on a Shelf.
Yeah.
I hated it. I hated that movie. I will watch that again instead of when I first sat down to watch Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas for this podcast. I got 25 minutes in, I shut it off. I'm like, nope, can't do this. Nope. It took a while for me to finally sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's a headache of a film.
And I think it took away. I think it took away a lot of what was right about the original cartoon. The Grinch was a monster. You were afraid of him.
Yeah.
Which made his conversion much more touching.
Yeah, even when he converts and his heart grows 3 sizes and he goes to the Who's and he treats them nice, he's still treating them like shit.
Yeah.
He's just pretending to be nice now. So, okay, let's talk about some facts. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It came out in the distant future, the year 2000. The original working title was actually Blue Harvest, and originally the Grinch was named Luke Starkiller.
Yes.
Bunny, what were your thoughts on the twist ending where you find out that Rosebud was a sled?
Well, I knew it was a sled from the beginning. They weren't fooling me. I mean,
yeah.
Anybody could see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah. Now, I've got a lot to talk about when it comes to this film, but first, Bonnie, get your piece of paper out. I know you've got it. We have a sponsor for this week's movie.
Okay.
And Bunny and I both got sent copy for the ad read for the commercial. Odd, too, because we both got 2 completely different ads of dialogue. But I figured we'd get through this. I want to apologize because we usually don't do ads on this show because we're first things first, we're the realist.
Right.
But they paid us a lot of money, but I want to apologize, not just because we sold out, because that's the American dream, but what they gave us to read for ads, some of it seems like it might be crossing the line. I'm actually quite surprised that they want us to read this as an ad, but hey, they're paying the paycheck. So here we go. I will go first, and then you can go, Bunny. This week's movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, is brought to you by the good folks at Raid Shadow Legends. Download today, or you're a fucking little bitch. Download Raid Shadow Legends today, or we'll find where your mom lives and beat the crap out of her. Unless your mom is dead, then we will pee on her grave. Again, this is what they sent us. We don't want to say any of these things. Raid Shadow Legends is paying us to say this. Download Raid Shadow Legends today. What are you going to do? Not download it and be a punk ass bitch? I don't think so, fucker. Download today. Now, Bunny, do you want to read your ad?
Sure.
Okay. What does it say on your paper?
Sponsored by Pepsi.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, no, it's weird because the sponsor for this week's movie has a sponsor. So this week's movie is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends, which is brought to you by Pepsi.
Oh, are these commercials all for Raid Shadow Legend?
Yeah. Raid Shadow Legends brought to you by Pepsi. It's weird. We might have to read some more.
It's very meta.
Yeah, it's very meta. Okay, so first off, if I could only get paid for saying the word "so" during this podcast, I'd be rich AF. Secondly, I have a treat. Oh, look, a wild Shap appears. Bunny!
Yes.
Let me tell you the story of why every Dr. Seuss movie, The Cat in the Hat, The Grinch, The Lorax, etc., is a piece of shit.
Okay.
So excited for this. A mini shap within the podcast, a mini half. Historic approximations. We're losing the steam. Dr. Seuss. I actually knew him way back when he was just med student Seuss Badumtis. I wrote the Badumtis here. He was married at age 25 to a woman named Helen Palmer, who was a kid's book author in her own right. They had a real nice life, but she was very sick. She fought a lot of sickness, a lot of illness, a lot of disease, and she died in 1967. She effing killed herself.
Wow.
Yeah, she was in so much pain. She took her own life. And then Dr. Seuss, the frickin' dog, dirty dog, remarries less than 8 months later. Months! In about 7 months after his wife killed herself, she's married to someone else. The second wife is named Audrey Diamond, and this bitch, girl. Okay, so Dr. Seuss refuses to sell the movie rights to his books. Oh, no toys, no TV shows, no movies, no. I'm done with Hollywood. But his second wife is all like, come on, Ted, we need the money. And Dr. Seuss says, no, I'm standing to my principles. I am not selling the rights at all. Yes, as long as I'm alive, there will be no selling off of my book rights. And his wife said, oh, okay, yeah, sure, anything you say, honey. As long as you're alive, you said? Interesting, huh? I'ma just put Universal Studios on speed dial for no reason. How you feeling, Ted? Feeling good? Got a bit of a cough? And so the second Dr. Seuss, her husband, died. She basically ran to Hollywood with dollar signs in her eyes. And so from that point on, that's why you've seen Dr. Seuss hats and clothes and toys and dolls and theme park rides and catheters. That's why you've seen so much of that. Because of Audrey Diamond Seuss Geisel and a series of big budget monstrosity movies like this one, Jim Carrey's The Grinch. If Dr. Seuss weren't already dead, seeing this movie would have effing killed him. Period. So in 1977, one movie studio over here buys the rights to The Cat in the Hat. And while they're working on that, a year later in 1998, Universal gets the rights to The Grinch, but production halts on The Cat in the Hat because they go, oh, hold on a second, back up. Let's see how these guys do. So the Cat in the Hat halts production until they see how successful The Grinch is. And oh my God, Bunny, Dr. Seuss's second wife's demands were crazy. She first off, she demanded $1 million for the rights to The Grinch.
Okay.
Already, that's a lot. She also demanded 4% of the total worldwide box office gross. And this movie made about $350 million. So that's a big paycheck. And then you add the $5 million from the rights. Already, this is a huge paycheck. But she's not done. She can buy a lot of Snapple, but we're not done. She also demanded 50% of the merchandising rights.
Okay.
That is crazy. And 50% of the music sales and a whopping 70% of all book sales. What the hell? And I told this to my wife, and I said, Natasha, what the hell? And she said, well, if you're intent on going against your dead spouse's wishes, at least get that dollar bill.
Yeah.
So, but because of this story, this mini shap, I have refused to watch both The Cat in the Hat and Jim Carrey's Grinch in its entirety until now. And I think I'm going to have to become a Scientologist after this because I need to get these engrams out of my head.
Yes.
But that is
understandable.
the true story of Dr. Seuss and his two wives. The first wife, what was her name? Helen. She was like, "Oh, you don't want to sell the rights to these? That's absolutely fine. I understand." And then he did sell the rights. He sold the rights for animated specials, and they made one absolute classic of an animated special and about 12 shitty ones. When you think Dr. Seuss on TV, there's a reason why you remember Boris Karloff and not Bobby Sherman as the Cat in the Hat. Yeah, that's who was the Cat in the Hat. It was the Hello Mudda Hella Fada guy. Was the hey, it's the Cat in the Hat. Hey, come on over and kill me. So, I hate this movie a lot. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I'm pretty sure that Amber is gone, so I can continue saying this unabated because my oldest, Amber, huge fan. All day she's been wearing Grinch pajamas. She got her dog to just constantly play with this Grinch squeaky toy. She loves the Grinch and all of the Grinch. You know what? She hardly has ever seen the animated original 1960s Grinch, and that pisses me off.
Never seen that?
She has seen it a few times growing up, but you mean to tell me you're obsessed with the Grinch? But Jim Carrey's the Grinch? And you've barely seen Boris Karloff, one of his greatest roles?
Yeah.
It upsets me. It upsets me.
I can understand. I can understand, but like you're keeping cool, you know, you haven't disowned her, you know?
It upsets me.
Yeah.
It upsets me. This movie.
You haven't spoken to the lawyers and had her written out of the will yet.
Well, my lawyer is ghosting me. My lawyer is just totally ghosting me. So that's probably why. What is wrong with this movie, buddy?
Pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything.
Pretty much
okay.
everything. Whose society is really fucked up and mean.
Yes.
I mean, they brutalized and bullied the Grinch so bad that it was preferable for him to go live in a fucking cave all by himself.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep, pretty much.
And like they had no problem with this. They only had a problem with him coming back.
Yes. Yes.
So there's some real problems with the Who's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Okay. So in the live action Grinch, a little bit high. In the live action Grinch, they specifically show, okay, the Grinch hates Christmas because he's bullied and the Who's are douchebags. And so, okay, the Grinch is kind of in the right. In the animated version, which is not bad. It's also not good, but it's fine. But in the animated Grinch, there are like flashbacks that show him celebrating Christmas by himself in an orphanage because his parents left him, and he sees all of these other families through the window of the orphanage celebrating Christmas together, and he's alone, an orphan, and it's like, okay, hey, unpopular opinion, hot take. You don't have to like fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
It's not a law. A grumpy guy in a cave hates a holiday. Great, leave him the hell alone. These Who's suck ass. They fucking suck. They deserve to have Christmas taken away. I'm just going to come out and say it. Fuck the Who's. Fuck the Who's. I think it's fascinating that you get the live action How the Grinch Stole Christmas about the Who's down in Whoville who like Christmas a lot, and their mayor was recently canceled because of the Me Too movement, and he's like a horrible, corrupt politician. So much of that is also in the animated Dr. Seuss book, Horton Hears a Who.
Yes.
Because in that animated film, which also featured Jim Carrey as Horton, the Who's are also pretty effing horrible. And there's also a corrupt politician in charge of the town.
Yeah.
And also the Lorax. The Lorax is horrible because the Lorax animated movie is horrible because you had the Lorax selling cars. I mean, that's just fucked up. Yeah. There were commercials with the Lorax selling cars. That's fucked up any way you look at it. You just killed Dr. Seuss.
Yes.
But also a corrupt politicians in that film. A lot of corruption in the world of Dr. Seuss. The TV shows I have a less problem with because the PBS show The Cat in the Hat knows a lot about that. That's actually all right. The Cat in the Hat is voiced by Martin Short.
Okay.
And you never see the parents, just like in the original Cat in the Hat. And my high schooler, Mal, he was obsessed with Green Eggs and Ham on Netflix for a while.
Really?
Yeah, apparently that is delightful. So, as far as I can tell, it's like a kids Dr. Seuss themed Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but it's supposed to be great. But here's my problem with the film. Okay, so this is a big budget cash grab about how Christmas is a cash grab. Way to miss the point of the story.
Yes.
You know? It's like, hey, these people like Christmas. This guy doesn't. He steals Christmas. And now it's like, okay, let's make these people all horrible and they take Christmas too seriously. And it's like, no, that was never there. But that upsets me. Hashtag the Grinch was right.
Yes.
Hashtag not my Grinch.
Yes.
Hashtag not my Grinch. My Grinch is Boris Karloff, period.
Yes.
Period. That's my Grinch. Word up, my Grinch. And you remember when Jim Carrey was always on crack? During that period in time where if you saw Jim Carrey, he was just on cocaine.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura, The Mask, Cable Guy, Liar Liar, Bruce Almighty, this.
Yeah.
Now if you see him, it's like, okay, what cause are we talking about now? That's why I liked Sonic the Hedgehog. He went back to being Jim Carrey for a little bit in the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. It was surprising.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, it was surprising.
I've never liked Jim Carrey. I'm just not, he's done a couple of things that have been good, but they're not good because Jim Carrey's in it.
Yeah.
You know, like The Truman Show is an awesome fucking movie.
Love that movie. Love that movie.
And we could totally recast Jim Carrey and it would still be an awesome movie.
Yeah. Yeah. You know who would be great in the Truman Show? Charles Nelson Riley.
Truman Capote.
Truman Capote. Nice. Also, another unpopular opinion. This is the unpopular opinion episode. Never been a fan of Molly Shannon's. SNL's Molly Shannon from the movie Superstar. Never been a fan.
Yeah, okay.
And so I thought, like, is there any movie that I've ever seen where it's like, hey, Molly Shannon's in this? And hey, I'm excited to see Molly Shannon in this film.
Damn it,
the only one I can say with a certainty, Wet Hot American Summer. Beyond that, don't care.
Yeah.
Not care at all. Never been the biggest fan. This is a Ron Howard movie, though. You can barely recognize Clint Howard.
Yes, I thought I saw Clint Howard, though.
He was the mayor's assistant. And I had to do a double take because it's like, really? What? It says a lot about someone's looks that they made Clint Howard look like a rat-faced monster, and he looked better.
Yes.
It's like, oh, wow, that vaguely handsome who is Clint Howard? Shit. Did y'all win a Best Makeup Oscar? Because you should have.
Yeah.
I like the fact that basically the Grinch lives in the Batcave after Jim Carrey's The Riddler destroyed it.
Yes.
So that's nice. Most of the set was literally built on Universal Studios backlot right behind the Psycho house.
Okay.
I find that fascinating. Bunny, Tim Burton was originally offered to do this film, and he considered it, but turned it down to do Sleepy Hollow instead. What would Tim Burton's Grinch have looked like?
Well, overall, it would have been darker. I'm thinking the Grinch may have had stripes.
Okay.
Possibly, or wear striped socks.
I feel like he'd wear something with tails, like a tuxedo jacket or something.
Yeah.
I think Johnny Depp's going to be amazing as the Grinch.
And of course, Johnny Depp would play the Grinch. Yes.
I was trying to think what was the name of the guy who was the lead singer of Boingo Boingo that now does all of the music scores.
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go to Batman on this one. Let's see if we can get Prince to do all the music for Tim Burton's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Helena Bonham Carter would be Cindy Lou. Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I've got. I hate this movie. I fucking hate this movie. Fuck the Grinch. Fuck Jim Carrey's The Grinch. All of the Dr. Seuss movies. Even the Lorax has some bops in it. The song How Bad Can I Be fucking slaps. That's a banger. That's a certified classic. But just the fact that Danny DeVito has become such a living meme that I can say, hey, you know the Lorax in this, kids? That's Danny DeVito, and they have 100%. They absolutely know who that is.
Yeah.
But that's how much Danny DeVito has become sort of like a legend, like a anthropomorphic meme.
Yeah.
But I hate this movie. I would much rather watch Hell on a Shelf. That says a lot. Good for you, Mark Polonia. But I will happily never watch this movie again.
So what do we have in store?
Okay, so
I asked with much anxiety.
Well, this is going to be our last Christmas episode. So I thought we'd do something a little bit different. This might come as a shock to you, Bunny, but I thought for our next episode, which will be next Sunday, December 18th, 2022, I thought, how about we do Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny? What?
Okay. Which version?
Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny. Our annual viewing of Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny. However, we did not do it last year for reasons.
Yes, we did.
I don't believe we did.
I totally know we did.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know that was roundabout a time that I disappeared.
Because I remember thinking quite often, good Lord,
oh yeah, there you go.
Don't let this be our last episode.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, episode 429. The Matrix Resurrections. I saw that twice. I couldn't tell you a single thing of what happened in that whole goddamn movie. Yeah, there you go. We were still doing Bunny versus. We talked about Mr. Lobo. This year, I'm gonna watch Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Bunny no less than 30 times, and I'm gonna write all new notes of the film. Okay? Because yes, okay. In previous years, I have just said the exact same thing about Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Bunny. But this year, I'm definitely not doing that. And this isn't just a bizarre meta thing. No, all new notes. Never before said or heard before this point. So you don't have to go listen to episode 105 or episode 154 or episode 198 or episode 241 or episode 285 or episode 421. Just trust us. The 7th annual discussion of Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, is all new, never before heard. A deep dive into this amazing film with knowledge that no one has heard before.
And which version are we going to do? We did Thumbelina. Should we do Jack and the Beanstalk?
This is what I'm thinking. It's free on YouTube as a riff track. If we have to watch this movie again, let's at least make it fun. I'm kind of done with riff tracks.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We haven't done a riff tracks in a really long time, but I just remember how painful this movie is. So I was thinking maybe doing the riff tracks one, but no, we've barely done the Jack and the Beanstalk one.
Yeah.
Plus, I believe it's shorter. Yeah. Okay. Let's do the not the riff tracks one, because I am done with riff tracks. So Jack and the Beanstalk. That is what we are doing. Jack Bean S. Period. Boom. That is what we are doing next week. We are finishing out the year, our last episode of the Pope on Film of the year, as we are taking an all new look at Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny, a film which features a film within a film and features an ice cream bunny, which is never explained.
No.
And it was filmed at a defunct theme park by a man who did a lot of nudie cuties. Yes. We will learn all about that next week in an all-new episode of the podcast that no one has ever heard before. So I'm excited about that. But now that I'm looking back, but that's next week. Now that I'm looking back at this week, the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs, the ins and the outs, I have to say, Bonnie, I think, I'm just thinking, this has been a pretty good episode of the podcast.
Yes. This has been a damn good episode
Oh,
of the
okay.
podcast.
Phew. Okay, because I was getting nervous there. I also felt that it was a good episode of the podcast, but I didn't want to. You're the person who makes that distinction, not me, and so I don't want to step on any toes. But yes, I concur with that assessment, good sir.
So until next week, I am Bunny Williams.
And I am Mei Lin, and on behalf of Natasha and Gizmo and Eleanor and Maxwell and everybody else in the house, I just want to say thanks for listening. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. And we will see you next week, you godless heathens. Less than a minute. Y'all are pushing it. Okay. Hey, come on.
And you mean one.
Oh, okay. The Grinch. Got